Barca fans, welcome to Barca Breaking News. I'm Steve, and today we're unpacking the latest twists in Barcelona's transfer window. The club's finances are under a microscope, and even a few million euros could make all the difference this summer. What's happening behind closed doors? Let's get into it. Barcelona, once the kings of big spending, are now counting every cent. Years of splashing cash, the fallout from COVID, and some questionable transfers have left the club with a tight budget. Under Laporta, Barca has to be smart and strategic, especially with financial fair play rules in full effect. That means every new signing depends on money brought in from sales or other sources. This summer, new manager Hansi Flick is eager to revamp the squad, but he's limited by the club's finances. Even relatively small deals, like a €5 million transfer, could be crucial for their plans. So, why is a €5 million deal making headlines? For a club that used to spend over €100 million on a single player, it seems minor. But right now, every euro helps. Barca is hoping to raise funds to go after players like Marcus Rashford or Luis Diaz, but they can't do much unless they sell first. Let's talk about Mika Marmol. He's a 23-year-old centre-back now at Las Palmas. Barca sold him last year but kept 50% of his rights. Now, clubs like Roma and Sevilla are interested. If someone triggers Marmol's €10 million release clause, Barcelona pockets €5 million. That could be a game-changer for their transfer plans. Roma has already put €7 million on the table, but Las Palmas wants the full €10 million. Sevilla is also interested, but Las Palmas won't budge unless the release clause is met. They'd only get half the fee themselves. This is why Barca is watching these negotiations so closely. Every deal, even those involving former players, can have a huge impact. But Marmol isn't the only story. Barca is also eyeing players like Rashford and Diaz, but they're only willing to spend around €5 to €10 million for a loan. Big permanent deals are off the table for now. If those options fall through, they could turn to alternatives like Kingsley Coman or Gabriel Martinelli. Another name that's come up is Jonathan David from Lille. He's scored over 20 goals in each of the last 3 seasons, but even a cut-price deal for him might be too much for Barca at the moment. To bring in new talent, Barca needs to move some current players out. Marc-Andre ter Stegen is one of the high-profile names who might leave. With Joan Garcia joining from Espanyol, there's talk that ter Stegen could be heading out, especially with interest from Saudi Arabia and Galatasaray. Ansu Fati is another possible exit. He's not in Flick's plans, but he hasn't agreed to leave yet. There was talk of a loan to Monaco, but nothing's materialized so far. Ronald Araujo could also be sold. His release clause drops to €75 million soon, and that could be Barca's biggest cash injection this summer. Barca is also hoping for unexpected boosts from sell-on clauses. For instance, they recently received €1.5 million when Ludovic Reis moved from Hamburg to Union Berlin, thanks to a 25% sell-on clause. These smaller payments add up and can really help the club's finances. President Laporta has promised at least 2 more signings this summer and says Barca is now in line with financial fair play. They're targeting Nico Williams, fresh off a Euro 2024 win, but his €58 million release clause means they need to sell before they can buy. So what should fans keep an eye on in the coming weeks? If Roma or Sevilla trigger Marmol's release clause, Barca gets a €5 million boost. The sale of Unai Hernandez to Al Ittihad could bring in another €4 to €5 million. Big names like ter Stegen, Fati, and Araujo could be on the move. And of course, everyone's waiting to see if Barca can bring in a new attacker. In short, this transfer window is all about careful planning. Every euro matters, and the club's future depends on making the right moves. Whether it's a small windfall or a major sale, each deal could shape the team for the seasons ahead. What do you think? Should Barca cash in on Marmol? Who would you like to see come to Camp Nou? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for all the latest from Barca Breaking News. I'm Steve, see you next time.